sociocultural. We look at each one meanings, how they work. Education is built on foundation theory that explain how people acquire and process knowledge. Second point, for teachers usually provide explanation and activities while students learn depend on their motivation and ability. But the way teachers explain the process depends on which theory of learning they use. There are three main theories that I cover. First one is behaviorism, which look at observable behavioral shaped by rewards or punishments. Second is cognitivism, which focus on how the mind processes information. Sociocultural or social, which emphasize learning through interaction with each other. Each theories give us a different way to understand learning. Behaviorism is one of the oldest learning theory. It was viewed mind as a black box, meaning we don't focus on internal thought process. Instead, we look at how a stimulus produces a response. Learning happens through conditioning using reinforcement and punishment. In the classroom, behavioral is useful for tasks like memorization, routine, or behavioral management. Teachers often use rewards like stickers, points, poker chips to praise to encourage desired behavior. The limitation is that it doesn't really explain deeper thinking or motivation beyond rewards. Optimism later came, shifting focus to what happened inside the mind. It seems that the brain are like computer that process information. Learning involves building mental structures called schema. We either stimulate new information in existing schemas or accommodate by changing a schemas to fit new complex knowledge. Cognitism came late. In practice, cognitism is applied by using strategies that support memories and understanding, such as mind maps, acronyms, linking to new content to what students already know. The focus here is on active learning and processing. Sociocultural theory emphasizes that learning is social. Knowledge is constructed through collaboration and interaction. A key idea is the zone of proximity do something alone but can succeed within guidance. So, for zone of proximal development means that some students they cannot do their work alone. Instead, they can use some help from their friends or their colleagues, or if they don't understand anything during the discussion, they can ask assistance from their friends or from the teacher to explain them about the discussion in details. That is the meaning of zone of proximal development. In the classroom, socio-cultural learning is seen through group work, peer tutoring, and scaffolding. Teachers or peers act as more knowledgeable than others, guiding students until they can do their student activities or their work independently, individually. Language and dialogue, essential tools for this learning process. Here's an example. Maria, a student in history class, was given poker chips as reward whenever she contributed to class discussion. As a result, she participated more often. This is a clear case of positive reinforcement shaping behavior through rewards. I remember back in my primary school time, our teacher used to tell us, for us to keep our space clean, we normally used to sit in groups. If that particular group keep their space clean, they will eventually get a reward like poker chips, or they normally give us money for recess for that particular group. So when it comes to a day to announce the group, which is on Friday, they will come and observe the particular group. In every group, they will observe every group, that whoever has a clean, neat and tidy space, that group will receive the prize. And also in my school, our head teacher also inform us to clean our space. If that particular class has a clean surroundings, that they will eventually get the prize. So that is how we keep our school clean and perform well in our individual classroom by giving us rewards, which is relevant to this example of this student Maria. Example is David, a university student who tries to memorize photosynthesis but confuse it with respiration. He failed because he only used surface memorization instead of recognizing his schema. This shows that complex concepts accommodate is necessary, not just a stimulation. Okay, in this example, some of us new students when come to First, tertiary level, some new words we normally notice in our readings, in our, especially in our exam paper, we usually confuse and write the wrong meaning, which can cause us to fail that particular question or on a particular question in the exam. So we have to don't just know the meaning, don't just know the concept, but we have to know two different meaning on those two words, because we normally confuse on some words written in our readings or notes for lectures, for tutors. Lastly, Java was struggling with statistic problem. Apia Elena guided him step by step without giving him the full answers. For her support, Java was able to complete it. This shows scaffolding within the ZPD, where social interaction enabled learning. So this is one of the ZPD or zone of proximal development. Some students can help other students by solving a maths problem. Like Java, he doesn't know how to solve statistics during maths, so Elena has to help him solve that particular problem or solve that particular equation during maths. That goes to for secondary students. Most of the students they are not good at maths, so they sometimes asking for extra classes or asking their friend who are smart in maths to assist them by solving the problems or help them with their homework by solving the particular question or particular equation on mathematics. What we see is that each series fits different kinds of learning. Behaviorism works best for simple, observable behavior. Cognitivism is essential for deep, abstract understanding, and sociocultural is the most effective for higher order contextualized problem solving. As a teacher, it's important not to stick to one theory for everything. Instead, we need to match the learning goal with the behaviorism. If it's deep conceptual learning, use cognitivism. If it's collaboration problem solving, use a socio-cultural theory is the best fit. To conclude, effective teaching depends on constructional alignment. No single theory is enough. The best education use all three theories as tools, choosing the right purpose. By doing so, we can maximize student learning and succeed.